Hey guys, and welcome back to Candicia Creations. So for these nails, I'm going to be using these extra long square tips, which I literally got the day that I did these nails. These tips have a really deep C curve. I personally would have preferred them to be a little bit flatter, but I still made it work. So I started off by prepping my silicone hand. I literally just buffed the surface of those nails and filed them down a little bit and rounded them out. Then I just went into those tips and I sized them up. Now what I found is that these tips are all really big, so I ended up using the smallest size for every single nail. So to make the tip fit the pinky finger, I used my hand file and just filed underneath the tip until it was as narrow as the pinky fingernail. Once I'd finished sizing up the tips, I just used this brush on nail glue that I bought from Superdrugs to stick them onto the hand. I'm not gonna lie, sticking tips onto these silicone hands is really annoying in general anyway. But sticking these curved tips down was a nightmare because they just wanted to pop straight back up every time. So I had to sit there pressing each of the tips down for ages. I managed to make it work in the end, but it took a lot longer than it should have to stick them down, which was really annoying. So then I just cut these tips down to the length that I wanted, and then I went in with the sanding band on my e-file to file over those tips. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't know why we do this, because if you don't, the acrylic doesn't pop off the tip. So I don't know. I also used the sanding band to go over the meeting point between the tip and the nail, just to flatten it out a little bit. So the products I'm going to be using to make these nails today are True Pink, Cotton Candy, Summer Punch, this super fine pink glitter, these iridescent mylar flakes. I'm going to use these beautiful butterfly foils. I'm just going to use the pink ones. Max Adhesion Monomer from Neo Nails. So I started off by picking up a bead of True Pink and placing that on the nail bed of the index finger. So while that bead was running down the nail, I picked up a little bead of Cotton Candy and Summer Punch and placed that just underneath that bead so they could kind of run into each other and marble. I'm using really watery beads of Cotton Candy and Summer Punch because I wanted them to kind of just flow and run into each other, which is why they kind of ran down that nail. I did want the beads to run down the nail diagonally, but I'm not gonna lie, the curved tip made that happen a little bit faster than I had planned for it to happen, but it's fine. It was my first time using these tips, so I just had to kind of get used to them. So I just added a little bit more Cotton Candy and Summer Punch and True Pink and marbled those colors a little bit together. Then at the tip of the nail where there's no acrylic, I added a bead of True Pink. I then used my brush to marble those colors a little bit into True Pink. So then I went into that fine glitter and just added it to the edges of the pink. And then I used True Pink to add a little bit of this glitter called Money Barrel onto the nail. But then I changed my mind because it just didn't look right to me. So I looked through my glitters and I decided to use Silver Slipper instead. So I added Silver Slipper to the top and bottom of the darker pink. And I also added a little bit of my pink mermaid glitter, which I did not show. I should hopefully have my website up and running again soon, and these products should be on there. So when I finished applying that glitter to this nail, I just went in with True Pink and capped that nail. I do normally encapsulate my nails with Crystal Clear, but you can cap with True Pink as well. I wanted these nails to be a little bit transparent, but pink at the same time, so kind of like jelly nails. So now I've moved on to the middle fingernail and I'm grabbing a bead of Cotton Candy and placing that right at the end of that nail and just blending it up. I then picked up a bead of Summer Punch and I just blended that down a little bit into Cotton Candy and up towards the nail bed. So I really didn't blend that tip onto the nail bed well, and you can see that when I'm applying Summer Punch and trying to blend it up onto the nail bed. This is why it's kind of important to blend the tip into the nail bed if you're going to be doing a nail where you could potentially see the meeting point between the nail and the tip. because I was going to add glitter at this point anyway, it really didn't matter for me. So I went in with that same pink mermaid glitter and applied it to the point where I was blending up Summer Punch as well as the tip of this nail. I also added some of that fine pink glitter as well and silver slipper. I used a little bit of True Pink to make sure those were really stuck down properly as well. I also added a little bit of that iridescent mylar. And once I'd done that, I used True Pink to cap this nail as well. I think I might just get a bigger brush because it takes a little bit of time to encapsulate long nails when I'm using this acrylic brush. Oh, this is a size 10 pinched oval acrylic brush from Neo Nails, by the way. So now I've moved on to the ring finger, and I'm pretty much just going to do the same thing that I did on the index finger. So I've picked up a bead of True Pink and I've put that down on the nail bed, and now I'm just letting that fall down the nail diagonally and then picking up little beads of cotton candy and Summer Punch and marbling them together, as well as marbling them into True Pink. So when you're doing this, there's really no rush. You don't have to do it in 2 beads or 3 beads. You can pick up as many beads as you need to until you're happy with the design or with the color payoff. So at the end of the nail, I just picked up another bead of True Pink and applied that to the tip. And then I blended that up and marbled it in with cotton candy and Summer Punch as well. Once I'd done that, I added a little bit of that fine pink glitter as well as that same pink mermaid glitter that I added to the other nails. I also added some of that iridescent flaky mylar. And then I just used True Pink to cap that entire nail. So now moving on to the pinky fingernail, and I'm going to be using these 2 glitters at the end of this little tray that I'm holding, which are Pink Mermaid and Princess, to build up the pinky fingernail. I'm also going to add in just a tiny bit of Money Barrel. So I'm literally just picking up a bead of True Pink and then dipping that into the glitters that I'm using. And then I'm rolling that bead off the brush and onto the nail. And then I just clean my brush, dip it back into the monomer, and I use my brush to press that bead out and drag it down the nail. So I do try to get that glitter down as flat on the nail as possible, because you don't want to bulk up the nail too much with the glitter and then end up filing like half of it off, because then the glitter ends up looking a little bit different and it ends up just looking basically silver because you would have filed off the color of the glitter. So I've decided from now on that I'm not going to do voiceovers, I'm going to do talk throughs instead. And I actually did that with this video, and it would have sounded like a million times better than this voiceover if it wasn't for the fact that the audio kept dipping in and out. So what I've done now is I've bought a little tiny microphone that I'm going to use instead when I'm recording my videos, because my phone mic cannot be trusted. And I'm not gonna lie, I was so upset when I realized the audio was a mess because I couldn't fix it, and I really tried. I even used Adobe Audition and I tried to fix the vocals and get them all on the same level, but it still just sounded a little bit off. So when I get to the cuticle area of this nail, I pick up a tiny bead of True Pink and I dip it into that super fine pink glitter. What I do is I use that to fill in the cuticle area. The reason I do this is because the other glitters are quite chunky, so when you're trying to cover that cuticle area, it doesn't always cover it entirely. So what that fine glitter will do is kind of fill in the little spaces in between the chunky glitters. So once this nail is fully covered in glitter, I just encapsulate it using True Pink acrylic. So now moving on to the filing and shaping of my nails. I start off by using the coarse safety bit on my e-file to go around the cuticle areas and remove any bulk. I also shape my nails using the coarse bit. It just saves me some time when it comes down to the hand filing. I'm just going around that whole nail using this coarse bit to remove any bulk and just straighten it up a little bit. Then once I've done that, I'm using a 100 grit file. I'm filing underneath that nail to get it super straight. I'm filing the sides and I'm just filing over it and trying to get that shape as clean as I can. I'm not gonna lie, I hate filing these nails on this hand because I don't actually stick the nails down to the hand because I don't want to damage it. They like to drop out as well if I'm doing too much to them, so I might have to start sticking them down because it is so annoying. I'm literally just using my hand file to perfect the shape of these nails. Now I'm just cleaning the dust off this hand and these nails, and they were being really annoying falling out, so I just took them out myself. Now I'm just using some alcohol to wipe over the hand and wipe over those nails as well, because now we are going to be applying some nail foils. So to apply my nail foils, I'm going to be using this nail foil transfer gel from Nail Nails. I literally just apply a super thin layer of this nail gel and then place it in my lamp for 30 seconds. And I'm just applying that to the middle finger and the ring fingernail. Once I've decided what butterflies I want to stick onto these nails, I just use my scissor to cut them out. And here I'm just trying to decide if I should place this butterfly at the top or at the bottom, and I decided to go with the bottom of this nail. I'm placing it directly on top of where I put those nice iridescent glitters. I placed my second butterfly on the end of the nail area of the ring finger. And then on the middle finger, I placed the butterfly on the middle. So once I put those butterflies down where I wanted them to be, I went over them with my thumb and I really rubbed them into that nail pretty hard. When you're applying foils, you can't be shy with the force, because if you miss any areas, the foil might not stick down properly and then you'll have to go back over them again. Once I'd finished rubbing down these foils, I used my tweezers to very gently peel them off. When you're peeling the nail foils off, you do not want to just rip it off without thinking, because if any part of it hasn't transferred on, it's just going to be super annoying to have to stick it back down and get it in the right place. So I use my tweezers to lift up that nail foil very gently, and I'm checking to make sure that the whole design has transferred onto that nail before I pull the whole thing off. So you can see there that part of the wing hadn't transferred onto the nail, so I just pressed the nail foil back down and rubbed over that spot. So now it's top coat time, and I'm using Lavender Violet's gel top coat. If this was a real person's hand, this probably wouldn't be my top coat of choice, but because I'm doing a mannequin hand, I don't really care what top coat I use. One thing that I do find really annoying about this top coat is that sometimes it likes to separate. So if there's like any moisture on the nail or any remaining alcohol on the nail, when it cures, it will have like a little gap where that moisture was, which is really, really annoying. So you have to kind of be conscious that there's no moisture or alcohol or anything on that nail that could cause the gel to separate when it's curing. So these are the finished nails. I absolutely love them. I think they're so beautiful, and I wish I could do these on my own hand. But right now my pinky finger's in some real distress. I might show you guys what's going on soon. So I really hope you've enjoyed watching this tutorial. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you love these nails, or even if you don't love them, let me know. And until next time, make sure you look after yourself and you stay blessed. Bye guys.